All right, Chase, you have been busy planning things for us, by us here at the Casual Hour. How are you feeling about what you've put together tonight?
I'm feeling good. I'm interested in building something that I think is a little different than just some of the stuff we talk about all the time. That is my favorite thing to do, is to like discover the little hidden gems. So
We're
not
talking about
just
video games, which is what we do all the time.
That's true. That's true. But we tend to talk about some of the same video games, and I'm guilty of this too. Like I have like my same 5 games that I feel like I talk about all the time. So I wanted to
Well, because you don't play
make a
games,
little...
you've played past tense games, so you're hanging on what you love.
Exactly. But yeah, I like talking about not necessarily obscure games, but just games that are different than the normal conversation. And I think I've come up with a way of doing that for tonight. So I'm excited to share it with you. I'm excited for you to share it with me, and I'm excited for us to share it with our audience. Look at that. Professional podcasting over here.
No, finally. It only took you 10 years. This is a deep dive.
Buddy, I've been podcasting longer than you've been alive. And that's impossible because you're older than me.
I only in age. But this is the 20th of May somehow, which is very weird to say out loud.
Yeah, 520.
520, baby. Smoke them spliffs, or don't. We're not here to tell you what to do. There's enough people trying to do that. But we are here to tell you about things we like. And this is a deep dive, as Chase has teed us up for. We traditionally, we rotate through a bunch of different things, list, old relics, deep journalistic takes on, industry things like Super Robot Wars. But tonight is about us, which I'm really excited as Chase has shared his enthusiasm for. We're not going to talk about any other games that we've been playing presently, because I think this is going to be a pretty lofty gig tonight. So we're
fine. I won't talk about how I've been playing Meteos on my AYN Thor.
He. This is what you've already done what I was so worried you were going to do tonight, and I don't want to hear it because I know, Chase, that you adore talking, and you've got a lot to talk about tonight. I know you do.
Maybe
you've got clown card games on these tiles, and you're going to make some excuse to talk more about than one game per tile. And I already just said
only one.
I already just said we're not talking about games. You're like, oh, you mean I can't talk about the game? And you did the thing. Yeah. So you're going to do the thing that I knew you were going to do, and it took you all of 3 minutes. So I will not tell you what I'm playing because I believe in the rules. And let's see how much Chase breaks said rules with this list.
The normal rule is 1 game per deep dive, and you brought out a new rule during the podcast, so I don't think that's
Chase
rude of me to mention.
If you go to our deep dive segment, we talk a little bit about what it is, and we even said last week when you wanted to do this, I'm like, let's push it to the deep dive because we're not going to talk about things. We have a big what you've been playing.
I think we're wasting a whole lot of time talking about the rules when,
they're important.
You could have just let me say what I said, and then we could have moved on.
Well, then why don't you tee this thing up? How do you want to click into it?
Sure. There was a meme going around of this website called grids.fun. And there were a couple of, it's a website where you can make a grid and you can put categories on the grid, and then the grids also have a scraping function where it's able to grab, TV shows or movies or video games. And so there were a handful of grids that were being templatized that people were using to say, hey, here's the 20 games about me or whatever. And there were somebody made some kind of template that was, what's your favorite video game, what's your favorite N64 game or whatever. I can't remember what all the grid categories were, but I remember reading it and thinking some of these are fucking lame. I don't like some of these. I think they led to not interesting choices that some of the people were making. So I didn't feel like you didn't really get to know the person based on some of that. But I liked the idea. So I decided to go on grids.fun myself and make a casual hour centric about us for you and me, the 2 hosts here. And I made up 12 because 20 was too fucking many. And I made a custom grid for each of us to fill out.
Just like Tron.
Yes, exactly. And now this is our opportunity to maybe get to know a little bit more about each other, because there's hopefully some games or some categories here that will lead to us talking about games that we don't just always talk about.
Yeah, I think this is super fun. I've got the grids pulled up here. I think by the power of the internet, I'll be able to figure this thing out in real time. So we've got our games written down, and I would imagine we're just gonna. You just want to go top to bottom, left, right.
Yeah, I think we can do that, and we'll switch off. So you'll do the top left one, and then we'll do my top left one.
All right,
going like that, if that works for you.
I don't know if everybody can see the categories on stream, but if you can't, the first one that we're going to start with is short game, and Chase has designated this needs to be no more than 8 hours, but preferably less. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Also, sorry, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
These are our lists. I'm kind of treating these like our game of the year lists, which is not our game of the list categories, or game of the year category stuff, where I'm a little stricter on things, and Bobby has been very frustrated by my strictness on some things. But this is truly like, if you can justify it however way you want. So if Bobby has a game that he might be over 8 hours, or he spent more than 8 hours on it, I'm not going to quibble that much.
Well, there's a category for the game you spent the most time with, so it certainly should be over there and not in the one that has an actual law below the category here. So I followed the rules because I do that.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And I picked Firewatch.
Oh, it's a fun one.
It's a very fun one. Well, timely, where it's 10 years. That game has come up in my mind at least once or twice every year since I've played it. I have no desire to go back to it, but I think that not only did this game have just like a very profound impact on me, I started a new relationship with my now wife around the time that this game, we were just married around the time that this game came out. And this game very famously is focusing on relationship failures, or failure to launch in some cases. So that was a very interesting mindset to be in. But this game, people still rock this wallpaper. I think you still have this wallpaper actively on your phone right now.
Is it the one I have a version? No, I've switched off it, but I did have it for a very long time because it was very pretty.
And I think that was the whole thing. Like, this game was really cool to explore in those bursts of time that it took to play it. Like, it was only a handful of sessions. I think I beat it in like 6 or 5 sessions. And so it was just very poignant, very, very interesting. I liked the world building. My time spent was good. It never outstayed its welcome. I didn't really think I needed more time there. And it was just one of my favorite games of the year that it came out. So I wanted to tip the hat back to Firewatch. I haven't played it since then. I own it on a few different platforms in case I want to, but I fondly look back on that game still.
That's interesting to me, because I feel like, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, I know I've mentioned that phenomenon about some video games before, that, hey, this is a game that I beat once and I never want to play it again. And I feel like you chastised me when I talked about something like Shadow of the Colossus, where I was like, I never want to play Shadow of the Colossus again. I'm fine.
No. It's like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't play other things or that you shouldn't not play things again, but there's not any other choice for this game for me.
That's
I don't care about other answers for how this story would have progressed, because I played it from the hip in a way that felt pretty organic, and with a little bit of like caution thrown to the wind. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with my instinct on this and like follow what I would do without much thought. And I typically, grovel over that stuff. Like, especially if it's like a skill tree, like I'll go look at 3 different builds of a character before I commit to something. And so like for this, because I put myself in like a very narrative experience that was just contained. Again, it's a low effort to go back to it because it's a really cool game and it's short, but I feel very content about what I picked there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a game that I know has achievements. Like if you threw the kids' radio in the lake or whatever, but that is, I agree that almost feels a little vulgar to try to go back into the game and replay it to just mine every little bit out of it. I think there is something to, hey, this was my experience and I enjoyed my experience, and that's mine, and I don't want to replay it again, because all it will do is taint that memory or dilute that memory
Yep.
a little bit, I think that's a great choice. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. All right.
You're not going to be proud of my pick.
I'm sure. What did you pick?
I picked Into the Breach, which is
oh my
a game,
fucking god!
It's a game that you can beat in less than 8 hours.
This is the fucking shit true. You do.
That's not. It's not. It's true. It's a game you can beat.
It does not have credits, correct? Like it doesn't have an end. It's just infinite.
I think it goes through credits once you complete it, and you can just skip them after that.
Oh my god!
I like Into the Breach. It's a good video game.
This is again a game. This is a forever game.
It kind of is, but
yeah, this is a game that you would spend the most time with. This is basically a game as a service with one season that you bought.
I get what you're saying. I'm just Into the Breach is my pick. Sorry, I like Into the Breach. It does feel a little unfair to pick a roguelike for this.
It absolutely does.
So what I said.
Oh my god!
I don't think there will be anything else controversial about my other picks.
Yeah, so this whole list is this next category based on something else. This list is too. The fucking non-truth is what it's based on. Something else this list is based on. $5 if you can guess what this next one is for me.
I don't know, man. It's so hard to pick what your favorite things are because everything's your favorite thing.
Who said that I'm picking a favorite?
Oh no. I don't know what
you didn't you never set that expectation. You said these are the categories. You didn't say your favorite in a category.
Well, sure, but you're making a pick, so you're choosing off some criteria.
So I guess both of these games aren't my favorite one way or another, but I picked Knights of the Old Republic, a game Chase hates as of late.
That's not true. I don't hate Knights of the Republic. I think Star Wars Knights of the Republic is a very cool video game, and playing through it this last year has reminded me that it's a great foundation, and it wasn't quite what I'm looking for anymore. But I had a great foundation with it. So why'd you choose the game?
Why did I chose the game? Because it's based on not only one thing, but something else. It's based on two things simultaneously.
Okay.
It's based on Star Wars and it's based on the Old Republic. But it's not based on the old, this created the Old Republic. That wasn't a thing before this game, right? Didn't they there had been like gesturing and other novels and things of that. There's also characters from other things in that. So there's some elements to it. But when I think about like licensed game, which is when I read this category, that's kind of where I was going with it. It was like something, or like you could have said like, hey, this is a game based on playing music, and I could have put like Guitar Hero there.
You could have, and that has licensed tracks in it. I wanted to keep this open and not just say best licensed game or whatever, because I think that's a little restrictive. But I also wanted this category to that's something we have always quibbled about when it comes to the Game of the Year category of the best new IP or whatever that we've talked about.
Sure.
And there will be like I'm trying to think.
Well, this year the pod racing game. That's a brand new video game. There's never been one of these video games before.
Yes, there has.
No, there hasn't.
There's not only been a Star Wars video game before it, there's been a Star Wars pod racing video game.
But this is not a sequel to that. This is not. It's not a sequel. This is a brand new game from a brand new studio. So for me,
have to fight about this until December.
But I'm just stating facts at this point. It's brand new, and I would have picked. So like in this case, I'm picking Star Wars because that's my favorite IP out there. And so having a video game, which is my favorite thing, my favorite form of entertainment, pointing back to my favorite IP, I went through a few different ones, but KOTOR is just one of my favorite games of all time. And I think it's one of my favorite Star Wars stories of all time too. Like I just really enjoy all of the things that it's doing. So this is a fucking easy fucking 3-pointer for me.
Yeah, I agree. That's very Bobby.
And let's see
guess what mine is.
Based on something else, you probably picked a sports game.
No, because also we have a sports game category. That's not really
That's fair.
It's showing up here in a couple.
Or you probably pick Super Robot Wars.
You could do like NBA Jam.
Yeah.
You could pick like a Tiger Woods golf game, and I would have counted that too. Like there's that. I wanted to make it broad enough that you could pick that. But
what letter? What letter is the only question I have? Is it X, Y, or Z?
Like what it starts with?
No, what it ends with.
What?
Super Robot Wars. Which letter after that word?
No. Although you know what? Maybe I should amend my answer. No, Bobby, my best video game based on something else is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Is it really?
2. Star Wars: Knights of the Republic 2. The Sith Lords, you fool!
That's not the better one. Hang on a second.
It is.
There we go. All right. It is not the better one.
It is. They not only. I've had this argument before, but
trust me, I know.
Obsidian knows how to make your video game better than you do. That's just always been my thought. Star Wars: Knights of the Republic 2 takes all the good stuff from Star Wars: Knights of the Republic and puts it in a better video game that not only plays better but has a more interesting story. It would have been nice if they finished the video game before they put it out, but even so, it's a really great video game that not only plays nicely, but it makes me think about Star Wars, or it opened up my mind to more of what Star Wars could be rather than just what Star Wars was, which was very much a good versus evil tale. And I feel like the first KOTOR is also that, a very good versus evil. You kind of know where you stand, even though it's supposed to be a game where, spoilers, you were the bad guy and now you're the good guy, and you
sure.
kind of choose what to do with that. And I guess you could play it gray, but the game has Star Wars: Knights of the Republic, the first one, has nothing for you if you try to play that down the middle. There is nothing interesting about that video game if you try to choose both sides. And KOTOR 2 is better about being gray, about choosing something. Like you have one companion who is kind of your teacher, who is the whole game trying to kind of say, you really shouldn't be either extreme, and think about the Force and think about Star Wars things in a different perspective. And even though it is a little ham-fisted in some of the things that it tries, I think just making the attempt was enough for me to go, oh, that's interesting. Star Wars can be so much more than it is. And I've carried that through any of the other Star Wars stuff that I've watched. And I think that's where, something like Andor becomes more interesting to me, because I feel like
because it's good.
It's also good. Sure, there is that, but it's also playing in a story that is a little bit more than just good versus evil, and it's pulling at threads that I find interesting. And KOTOR 2 was the first time that I really felt
you're Benicio del Toro
threads there
from The Last Jedi.
Sure, I'm Benicio del Toro from literally every movie Benicio del Toro is in.
Yes.
I am Benicio del Toro from one battle after another.
Three small beers. So we are, speaking of 3, we're on to our third tile, which is art style, you bastard.
I know this is so tough.
It is tough.
I had a hard time picking this one for sure.
I have it though. I think I have it. And for me, this checks all the box, baby. Night in the Woods. I love Night in the Woods for a lot of reasons, but there is so much style in this game. Not only the way it looks from an art style, but the artistic writing and the creative writing of this game. It is fucking earnest and it is authentic. I think it is one of the best realizing of age, not coming of age, but realizing of age games I've ever played. And the music in it is so good. The art of friendship in this, because it's messy, is great. The art of relationship with your parents is so fucking good. But the whole premise of it, the way that you engage, the menu, slicing and grabbing pizza, the pause coming into it, Greg's fucking animation. Like, there's so many GIFs I use still from this game. There's so many screenshots I use as wallpapers from this game still. Like, I keep coming back to this. Is it the best art? It's subjective. And for me, I fucking love it. It rubs me the same way that a Scott Pilgrim story does. And I feel just like it captured who I was like coming home from college at times and just the friend groups that you phase in and out of. It's great. Night in the Woods is awesome. You should play it. It's one of my favorites.
It's a striking art style for sure, and it's one that I feel like has more in common with kids' books than it does video games. And I'm using that in a complimentary way.
Yeah, totally.
Like there is just such a richness, a colorfulness from the visuals. Do you know who the artist is who
I
designed
don't
these characters and things? I think I knew at one point, but I've now that I am not on Twitter anymore, I don't follow them, so I will never know. But I've seen some of their art outside of Night in the Woods, and it still carries that same style, and it's really rad. I have my own problems with Night in the Woods for separate things, but the art style is definitely not one of those reasons. I think it's a gorgeous looking video game.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby. I promise you this is not cheating.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little bit like cheating. My best art style game is Sound Shapes. And I think that's a little unfair because it has so many different art styles that it throws in there. The idea of Sound Shapes being this kind of milk crate of albums that you can go through that each has different visuals and different music and different vibes that you're going through. It's like there's one whole world that is made by the Super Brothers from Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery, and it looks fucking awesome. There's a whole world that is all Beck themed with Beck, like new Beck music and really crazy visuals there. When I first played through Sound Shapes, going to each new world and seeing just this explosion of new ideas and new colors and new art styles was just incredible to me. Like having that buffet of different amazing art. And again, it feels a little cheap because I feel like I'm getting to pick like 4 or 5 different art styles all in one. But I think that is the magic of Sound Shapes, being able to blend those things together, and then having the build your own worlds and being able to take all of those little pieces from all these different art styles and smash and remix them together into your own worlds was just a really cool experience for me. I love Sound Shapes. It's a real shame that it's hasn't found a way to jump to other consoles and other devices. I played this on my Vita, and I know it had a PlayStation version as well, like a PlayStation 4 version, I guess, or 3 and 4. But I would love to see this be updated to more modern consoles, and also to see a sequel. But I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Sound Shapes, my favorite art style for sure.
And wait till you hear about his favorite album, folks. Now that's what I call music. So
fuck you, fuck you. Trying to be genuine over here.
No, I understand. I understand. Compilations are art, and obviously they're celebrating all those things too. The next category I thought was interesting, that you have sports game non-racing, and then you still have racing. And
racing feels like its own category. I know there's video game award sites that do it like this, where they're like, racing is a sport, but it's a little unfair to all the other sports games if you allow racing games in there. So I liked separating them out because I think they're both interesting choices for how we make games. And this allows you to put a golf game in here.
Oh, I thought you didn't know what I would fill out here, you fool.
I know this one.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004 is my favorite golf game. This is it. This is Patient Zero. This is the one that really got its dirty fingers all over my heart. I played this every night pretty much in high school with the same few people. There were so many controllers broken, so many pizzas eaten, and so many fucking tears shed, both happy and sad. I have this on my Thor also, and I think there's better golf games today that you can play, but it was nice to go back and hear the music. We talked about EA tracks on a recent podcast, and this one kicks off with Blue Side by Rooney, which is just a fucking awesome song to open up. Very, very of the time too. But this was cool. Like, we all had our characters created. this is where I was like, oh, wow, you are using the actual thumbstick to swing the club. And that was very different from the 3-click process that I think you prefer. And
Yes.
I like it a whole lot still too. But I love golf sports games. I played more sports games when I was growing up. I thought to go deeper into the well and try and be a bit more obscure on this one for you, but I just couldn't look past the tile and not put Tiger Woods on it.
No, that's totally fair. I expected you to. EA in this era was on some ideas here. You're right. I do prefer the 3-click system for golf games rather than the right stick stuff. But the way EA was putting in the right stick stuff to make it feel more analog for all their different sports games, I still have a memory that's burned into my brain of playing Fight Night Round 3 on a Target, like at a kiosk at Target, and using that right thumbstick to land hooks instead of just using a jab button. And it felt revolutionary.
It felt good.
It was. I didn't play Maddens with hit sticks or whatever. I was way out of any football games by that point. But yes, there certainly was that. Hey, this sports are analog. Let's put sports games into analog feel as well. And I think that was a really cool idea, even if I think for the most part we have gone back to going, buttons are probably better for some sports than other ones.
Yeah, 100%. There was some cool stuff there at that time, and too bad EA sucks.
Speaking of too bad EA sucks, there were really only two options for me, and they were both in the NBA Street world. The question was just, is it going to be NBA Street Volume 2 or is it going to be NBA Street Home Court? And I went with the easy one. It's NBA Street Volume 2. It is. They perfected it on the second try. V3 is I think much worse, and then Home Court I think does enough interesting things for me to bring it back. But 2, they just had it. They had it all. It was still colorful and bombastic in the way that NBA Street started to get a little bit more real as it went on, a little bit more not simulation wise, but it lost some of the visual flair,
especially in 3. 3,
yeah. I mean, 3 went to the sepia toned thing, and I didn't like it, and it also was a lot more analog than Street Volume 2 was. But Street 2 also had still the larger than life characters. It had the NBA players, but it also had original characters like Stretch and Dimes and I'm forgetting some of the other ones, but those players playing through a real campaign mode, that it felt like that was so cool too, of beating a team and then getting to recruit one of their players for your team, going from just normal street ballers to here's some shitty NBA players to oh damn, I got Vince Carter on my team now, holy shit. And then having some of the legends in there too, of oh fuck, now I've got Wilt Chamberlain. Fuck you, fuck everybody else. I got Wilt Chamberlain. I'm blocking literally everything. This is perfect. I had such a great time with NBA Street Volume 2. The trick system is great. The game breaker system.
Have you put it on your Thor yet?
Fun. I have not, because the version I would want is the Xbox version. That's the one I played, and I know that's possible.
Yeah.
It's easier to play the GameCube version or the PS2 version, but the Xbox one is the one I would want, and I don't have that set up on the Thor yet. But I have gone back and I have played this game on my. I've gone back and connected an Xbox 360 just so I could play NBA Street Volume 2 on it, and listen to DJ Cucumber Slice a few more times. It's what a fucking video game. That's awesome. And EA will never make more because they fucked it up.
Well, speaking of fucking things up, this next category is the things that you put the most time into. And by the numbers, that's Destiny, unfortunately.
For you? Wow, look at you.
I mean, hundreds, if not, between Destiny and Destiny 2, I'm definitely over 500 hours easily, which is child's play for a guy like you, I know. But knowing how I typically kind of move through games, I think that says a lot about, because it was also a very specific time period. It was very condensed, that I put that much time into it. And I kind of feel like I know I had to talk about other stuff on the show, but I feel like did we just talk about Destiny all the time? Is that all we did?
There was definitely some times where it felt like here's the Destiny check-in and let's talk about it. I think we ended up getting pretty good to the point of, hey, we're only going to bring up Destiny again once a new expansion comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was definitely a good time, especially when you were also into it and playing it with me. That we probably talked about a lot of Destiny.
I think I played more Destiny than Destiny 2. I haven't dare checked the numbers on that.
That's a good question. I've definitely played more Destiny 2 than Destiny 1.
Yes.
But I stuck with it much longer than you did.
So, again, like I could have done like, I guess, series or game, like, but that's the problem is like I couldn't just say like I played Pokemon or Zelda, like, which I've technically spent the most time with those. Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, Destiny is
but this is when you're talking about individual titles.
Like a game, like Destiny, easily Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be easy for me. Do you know about how much time? Did you say 500? Something like?
I'm definitely over 500. I thought I was closer to like 600 to 700 hours. But I guess I can just go look this up. Well, I need to.
Yeah, I can too.
Actually, you do that because I don't want to fuck up the stream by.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It'd be lumberjack smack for me on any of those things.
Yes, it would be lumberjack smack. Let's see if that returns me any results. Last played 3 years ago. That sounds like you.
Yep.
Let's see here. Loading up.
Here comes the sinning.
Let's see. I think this is only showing. Is this showing Destiny 2?
Destiny 2 would be lower for sure, I think.
Yeah, Destiny 2, you have 560 hours and 56 minutes.
Yeah, I think I absolutely have to have more with Destiny. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I'm imagining so. I think I can pull that one up here too.
I want to say I have like the other game that came up from like recency would have been I think the next, just to kind of like explain to folks the gap here of like how much I played with it. I think Monster Hunter Worlds I had like 300 hours in comparatively.
Yeah.
But
maybe they got rid of the way to look at Destiny 1 on here.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. You are in the top 11% of Destiny 2 players in terms of time spent.
Damn it. Yeah, so I'm guessing this is what you would pick?
That felt like the easy answer, but I think I actually have a more correct answer. I just don't have a specific number involved. But yeah, it is hard to deny that it says that I have 1,814 hours and 57 minutes into Destiny 2, which seems high. Seems like a lot.
Dude. Like, I mean, I think that we can just say, when I say Destiny, I'm thinking both games.
Sure. I still think I have a game that I've played more, and it's Drop 7. Which is a phone game, and while each session is really only me playing for about 20 minutes, I believe it's Drop 7, all one word, if you're trying to type it in.
Like, oh, okay.
I know it works in there. I've got it on mine. Maybe there's a space between the Drop and the 7. Anyway, Drop 7 is a game I think I basically play every single day. And, if you're only playing it for 10 to 20 minutes, but you're playing it every single fucking day, and I've been doing that since college, it ends up being a video game that you put a lot of time into. This has been my favorite phone game. It will probably continue to be my favorite phone game. I also like Hold Down quite a bit, but I just haven't had the longevity of playing Hold Down on my phone as nearly as much as I have Drop 7. This is a game that went down at one point, and it's because it's a Zynga game, and Zynga's gonna Zynga, but then they finally brought it back in a not as great manner, but it basically plays the same way, and I've just never looked back. I played the Blitz mode, and I continue to try to beat my score, and I just have a fantastic time playing this little weird Connect Four / Tetris style video game, and I don't know what it is, but the mechanics all feel so good that it's just something I can always flip on and play for 20 minutes. If I have like a download going that's going to take, 5 minutes, I go, oh, 5 minutes I can play I can play Drop 7. If I'm watching a YouTube video that might be getting a little boring, it's like, well, I can, play some Drop 7 while I watch the rest of this, I suppose. And you just get those little chunks of time that all add up to what I have to imagine I have more than 2,000 hours into Drop 7. There's no way to know. The phone the doesn't track your time on any of that, but just knowing how much I've played over the years, I can't imagine any other game has come close.
That's all. I remember, God, you just triggered. I don't know why I have to share that fucking. You were so mad when that game disappeared. Jesus Christ, I remember that. That was you were almost inconsolable at that time.
I wrote in. I wrote emails to fucking Zynga corporate.
Oh, I know. You went fucking deep on that.
Yeah, it's back. So
it's back.
Hopefully never go away again.
All right. This next game is not the rental as a kid game that I want you to understand this experience. So I messaged you about this before, and I was just like, hey, the way I'm interpreting this is like a game that you went back to the well on, or like a game that you rented a lot as a kid or played a lot through rental. And you kind of said like, well, it could be this, or I have a story for it. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
I had to go, Bobby. I truly don't give a fuck what you put here. Just name a fucking video game. But mine is a game that I rented as a kid. So you can.
I rented a lot of games.
Did you GameFly this? Did you borrow it from a friend? Like whatever you want.
So I'm putting Mario 64 here. And it's not that I was renting Mario 64. It's that my dad went and rented a whole fucking Nintendo 64 when it came out. And he brought this thing home. He brought home a briefcase. I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I got something for you. And I thought it was like a tool to like go and do a project with him or something. But he opened it up and it was the Nintendo 64. And I like freaked out that we had one in the house. And I was like, oh, you bought it? He's like, no, it's rented. But we did rent the Nintendo 64, I think, 2 times before I ended up getting it for Christmas that year. And I remember Mario 64 and Wave Race were the games there, but Mario 64 is what I was definitely playing when we had it. And I was so excited to finally own one. But it was just a cool, like, I couldn't comprehend that my dad was renting a whole fucking video game system that we had in our house and got to play, which was fun.
Yeah, that was never something we did. I don't know if it just never crossed my mind or my parents' mind, but we never rented a whole system.
Yeah, it was a cool thing.
And I'm sure I've talked about it on the show before. I feel like my parents got away with murder at some point because they were able to keep me on hand-me-down consoles for generations of hardware. And I don't know if just my friends at school weren't talking about the same stuff, or maybe they had the same deal where they were playing on old consoles. But I got a hand-me-down NES from my aunt and uncle and played that. And then the Super Nintendo I remember getting that, but I'm pretty sure it was a handful of years old at that point. The N64 we got at a pawn shop way later than it first came out. And because we got it at a pawn shop, it didn't include Mario 64. So, the game that gets packed in with all the N64s, I didn't have it. So I've played Mario 64 at friends' houses, and, probably something I should have rented, but I never did. I have a copy now, but yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. I got Game Boys when they came out, because that was always something that was like, okay, we know you like this, and we'll get you that. And those were always brand new. But in terms of the actual home consoles themselves, I feel like my parents just hit the lottery or something that I never figured out. Hey, why are all these consoles fucking old? Until like the Xbox, I think it was actually original Xbox was like this is like a brand new console I was going to the store to get. Maybe it was the GameCube, but anyway, my rental game is also an N64 game, oddly enough, but it's Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap is not a game you should buy. I think this is kind of the perfect rental game in that there's not actually a whole lot of game there, and it is a game that you can kind of just beat in a weekend, and you don't really ever need to play it again. But
I was pretty let down by it, I think.
I mean, I love Pokemon Snap. I had a great time with it, but it was also a game that was really nice to rent because you finish it and you take it back and go, cool. Well, that's not one of the ones I wasted on my birthday or Christmas present this year. Perfect. But the other reason I wanted to mention Pokemon Snap as the rental is, obviously because we were renting it from Blockbuster, and Blockbuster had the Pokemon Snap kiosk. Did you ever use the Pokemon Snap kiosk, Bobby?
I didn't have a Blockbuster.
Oh, you poor child. So this was a kiosk that you could bring an N64 copy of Pokemon Snap with, either the one from Blockbuster or even your own if you had if you ended up buying one. But you could attach the N64 game to the kiosk, and it would pull up all the photos that were loaded onto all the photos that had been taken in the game, and you could choose a handful of them and get stickers printed out that would just print them out.
That's
like
cool.
It was a photo booth, and then you'd have the stickers of your time in Pokemon Snap. And I thought that was so cool. And I think I only got to do it once because it was more expensive than it should have been. But
absolutely. That was extortion for children at that time.
Oh, totally. But when I'm only renting the video game, and hey, I didn't ask you to buy the whole video game for me, so you can buy me a couple stickers, right? And so I remember that experience
That's awesome.
of getting those photos. That was like, this kiosk was a Blockbuster exclusive, and it was so cool, and it felt like video games could be anything when that was out there, even if, again, the video game itself was something that you finish within a handful of hours and you go, okay, I think I'm done with this. But I'll always have the memories, and I will have them tangibly because I have the stickers and they're on my Trapper Keeper or whatever the fuck.
That's
Pokemon
awesome.
Snap, great game to rent, poor game to own for sure.
That brings us to the non-sports game that is a racing game, and I have selected for your enjoyment as well, Need for Speed Underground 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I loved this game so much. I was very into tuner cars at the time. Going back to the music, I think this game had fantastic music. I think the races in it were really fun. As I've gotten older, I can look back on Mario Karts and other things and just really enjoy them. I think there's an argument to be made there, but when I think about a pure racing game, this was probably one of the first ones outside of a cruisin' or something like that, where you're just playing at the arcades, that I was like, I'm going to play a lot of this. And I spent weeks on weeks on weeks tricking out cars, playing this, getting really good at races, beating the shit out of my brother on it. It was awesome. I had a really nice time with this one.
Yeah, that's a great one. I don't know how much Underground 2 I played. I remember playing a lot of Underground, but I don't think I put a whole lot of time into the second one. That's the one with the Riders on the Storm with Snoop Dogg.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was, I've been talking a lot about Burnout 3 Takedown lately on the Thor, and that one was definitely springing to mind. Burnout Paradise is also a really good game as well that I could have put there. Forza Horizon 3 or 4, or maybe not 5. 5 is good, but I didn't put as much time into 5 as the other ones. But I also ended up going for a Need for Speed game, and I went for Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, not the reboot one, not the original one. And is it 20? I forgot when it came out, 2016 or something.
Is it here? I think this is it.
It's the one with the orange car.
Yeah,
that's the one. So my problem with Underground, and I think Underground's a fantastic game, don't get me wrong. I love the Underground series. I liked the car customization stuff in there. The music was really cool. I liked the night driving. I liked the drag races that they added to the Underground games. But what I really like for Need for Speed, and I played so much Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 on the original Xbox, what I loved was the street racers versus the cops. And I loved that dynamic. And that dynamic was taken out in Underground. There were still cops in Underground, but you couldn't play as the cops. And I liked having those two experiences that you got in the Hot Pursuit games, where you could you had two career paths at that point. I can play as a street racer and avoid these cop obstacles that they would throw out, the barrels that would come down from the helicopters, the spike strips, that kind of stuff. But then you could also play as the cops and deploy those as you tried to smash in and stop the street racers from going on. And I found that balance to be really fun. And so I was really sad when the Underground games came out and took that second career path away from me. And so for Criterion to come around, the Burnout people, and now they're the ones making Need for Speed, and they're going back to the Hot Pursuit name and the 2 career modes. And so you have a game that plays like Burnout, but has the sensibilities of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And buddy, there was just no going back for me. Like this
Sure.
this was it. This was perfection to me. And then just the cherry on top, they brought in some of the Burnout Paradise stuff where every race that you did was part of a leaderboard. I forgot what they called it. There was some kind of like live leaderboards that not only would they show the leaderboards, but after every single race, they would say, here's you, and here's your friend who's also playing this game. And you know what? They're like a half second faster than you on this track. And I went, well, fuck that. I'm doing this race again. And so that was so cool to have those real-time races against your friends, to know like, okay, I dominated you on this track, and I get to like talk trash to you that I've got that. In the same way that there would be Burnout Paradise things where it's like, hey, I have the fastest time on this piece of track, or I have the fastest speed on that speed check camera that against all my friends. And so them bringing that in there was just that extra little cherry to make me want to keep playing more, get better cars, go faster, try to get my lines to be as efficient as possible. And I played the hell out of this game in college and had just a fantastic time with it.
Folks, you don't have to spend money on a game to have Chase be competitive or want to talk shit at you.
That is true.
You do not have to spend money for that. You can get that for free if you. And speaking
Just
of
start a podcast with me.
Yes. Speaking of dunking on things, I'm about to rattle some cages. But
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for Bobby to actually say something bad about a video game for years, so I had to build this category in.
Yeah. I am here to tell you that I think generally speaking, Grand Theft Auto as a series is overrated, but specifically, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is incredibly overrated. There are better versions of Grand Theft Auto you can play, and whatever Grand Theft Auto is today is weird, and I don't want to have anything to do with that. But I am at least curious to see what that game is when it comes out this year. I think it's weird that people are trying to avoid it. I understand that studios are going to just get obliterated by this thing this year, but there's
so many normies out there who
I know
will only play Grand Theft Auto and maybe a racing game and maybe Madden or maybe Call of Duty. Like there's just so few games that they actually play. So I'm a little bit with you that it's weird that some places, like some developers, would avoid the Grand Theft Auto because, like, bitch, you were never going to get their money. Like,
no,
the people who are going to buy Grand Theft Auto are only buying Grand Theft Auto. Like,
it's making $1 million a day, dude. That game makes $1 million a day, and it's goofy, But I play weird shit too, like. I'm not going to tell you that you can't enjoy it, but I think it's fucking weird that this game that came out on the PS3 is still this heavily played and talked about and making this much money. Like, it's insane to me. It's insane to me. But yeah,
I'm with you. I've never been a huge Grand Theft Auto fan. I got the double pack on Xbox at some point and didn't like 3 at all. And part of that was, it's the double pack. I get to also play Vice City, which is just the newer one. So it just felt better to play. So I was just going to keep playing that one. It's also got all the cool 80s cars, and this other one looks like shit in a city that looks dark. I've never really liked GTA 3. I enjoyed Vice City kind of despite how it played. It was never a good feeling video game. None of them are. but they are these incredible worlds that you go through, and their vibes of having the radio stations on and hearing all the voice acting and the cinematics that are part of it. That part is interesting to me. But then I liked Vice City. I liked 4. 4 at least felt better. It had better gun targeting on it, and I just felt like the mission structure was a little better. And I liked Nico generally. And then you're right. I got into 5. I tried. I think I got introduced to all 3 characters and was starting to play it. I just went, I don't like this. It still feels like a hassle to do anything in this video game, and I just was not enamored with the shtick that Grand Theft Auto did anymore. And then even further than that, playing through Red Dead Redemption 2 and not playing through, I did not finish that game either, but having that game be even more of that stuff, but in a game that it felt like there was even less to it. Despite liking Red Dead Redemption 1, which is weird. Like, that's the one I liked, but all the other ones I haven't been a big fan of. So I'm totally with you. I think 5 is extremely overrated, and I'm not interested in 6 at all. I could care less, but I know other people are very excited for that game.
Oh yeah, they can't wait.
My most overrated game, Bobby. This is my Soldier Boy moment. It's Braid. I fucking hate Braid.
Yeah, you have a weird thing with that one.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's just a bad video game, and I think it's weird that people were excited about that game and that it was heralded as this Xbox Live Arcade. Like, this is the catalyst. This is what all the games should be like for Xbox Live Arcade. I was like, I don't know. It just feels like kind of a shitty platformer that has some kind of bad puzzles in it, and I think the ending is really stupid, and I do not like the story that is trying to tell. I think Jonathan Blow is pretty stupid generally, despite how much I like The Witness. I don't think for some reason the Witness is able to transcend Jonathan Blow's badness while also amplifying it with some of the videos that he puts in there and the reason he puts those videos in there. And it's like, God, come on, man, you made a good puzzle game once and you're trying to ruin it with all this other bullshit. But I just have never been excited by Braid, and it's always bewildered me why people have thought that game was good. Did you play Braid? Did you like Braid?
Yeah, I thought Braid was a really inventive game at the time. I thought the artwork was cool, but today it's like Don Draper. I don't think about Braid at all. Like,
and didn't they just come out with like
they remastered it. There's a bunch of other like commentary around it, which I thought you would be excited about.
Well, but commentary from Jonathan Blow.
It is.
No, I'm not interested.
It is. But yeah, that was just the anniversary edition is what it's called. Yeah. Braid Anniversary Edition. I think that was a Netflix mobile release. But it was on pretty much everything I think it was last year or 2 years ago now, but I just like, I'm good. I don't need to play Braid again. There's other games that, have kind of like introduced me to more indie stuff.
Yeah. And I think there were other interesting Xbox Live Arcade titles at the time.
Yeah.
And I think we would have still been just fine with our indie titles. And I don't think Braid deserves nearly as much of the credit as it gets for kind of kickstarting that whole movement. Not a fan.
There's not a whole lot for me to add to this one that I'm about to put in for multiplayer. I think it speaks for itself, and I've definitely talked a lot about this game on the show, but Halo 2 is probably my favorite multiplayer experience that I've had, from LAN parties to tournaments to the introduction of Xbox Live that we talked about probably most recently with this game. I wish it was still good. I hope Halo can be good again. But I don't think it will ever capture kind of what it was then. But I look back on that time, played with a lot of people I didn't know, and it was untethered. I could play across the world, literally. And that was really fascinating for me from a multiplayer standpoint, my first time experiencing that.
What's your favorite multiplayer level in Halo 2?
Blood Gulch, probably. I like that.
It was not called Blood Gulch in Halo 2, Bobby. I believe you mean coagulation.
Coagulation, thank you. Yes. Yes, thank you.
Fake fan.
fake fan. I'm definitely not into it to the degree that you are, but I certainly love that game.
Yeah. What was your pick? So maybe you like it more than me.
No, I mean, like, you read the books and shit. You've watched the TV show.
I did. I read.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. I was
Yeah.
like, I haven't read that many books. And I'm like, oh, well, you read one.
You've read the books and you've watched the show.
I've only read 4 of the books.
It's 4 more than me, motherfucker.
That is 4 more than you. And yeah, I watched the. I'm sorry, I almost said I liked the show. That is not true. I watched the show almost out of spite. But you're right. I like Halo. My favorite multiplayer game is Halo 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly the same reasons for me, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There was something about playing Xbox Live and having that experience.
Yes.
Being able to play people across the country, across the world.
And see the server stuff. See like where people were playing from.
Sure. Like meeting people who I've never met in real life, and I've forgotten their handles long ago. But remembering I had 2 people that I played with all the fucking time, never knew them, and none of us knew each other. It wasn't like, oh, I just met up with 2 friends.
But you played all the fucking time, every night.
All the time. If
they were online, you were playing, you were talking, you would have said that they were your best friend. People would have thought you were best friends.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was just how it was. Like
we had a great time playing that game together, and we played all the modes. We were having a fantastic time. I played with a lot of friends as well. Don't get me wrong. We certainly had the LAN parties and things like that too. Lockout is my favorite level. You cannot get better than Lockout. But the other thing I liked, just the creativity that got put in there as well. Like this was the creation of the zombies mode. Was in Halo 2, playing on that DLC map Foundation, and having those kind of 4 corners and people trying to block up the doors with crates and things like that, and having the characters with energy swords be the zombies, and it was kind of like a game of tag, and once you got tagged you were also a zombie and just trying to be the last one standing. It's so many cool memories there. Fiesta King of the Hill is still one of my favorite game modes.
Capture the Flag was always my favorite, man. I just love Capture the Flag.
Yeah. CTF's pretty great. Halo 2, it's just the best.
It's
Halo
the best,
3
man.
is also good. There's other Halos that play well with the multiplayer, but 2 was just the perfect time, and it hit me at the perfect time when I was playing. We didn't need fucking progression bullshit. We didn't need to prestige.
Nope.
We didn't need any of that shit. You just got on and the game played well, and you just wanted to keep on playing it. It was fucking fantastic.
It was I think if games still played that way, I probably would be more into multiplayer stuff. Chase, you put down Lazy Weekend. I read this as, hey, I don't feel the stress to do X, Y, or Z. This is the thing I put on. This is my comfort food, my junk food, whatever that may be.
I think that's a totally fair thing.
Yeah.
Like I kind of left this open to interpretation, whether this is a game that you think you could finish in a weekend, although we did have the short game category, whether it's a game that you just, like you said, be like a comfort food for you, or just, I don't know, it's a game you don't want to think about too hard, and you just can play it and turn your brain off. And any of those, I think, are fine ways to attack this category.
And that's why I picked Minecraft. Minecraft is a game that is just always something I could easily relax with. It's a game that I think would be appreciated at a pace that the weekend should bring, but most of my weekends are spent playing the things that I talk to you all about every week and having fun doing that. Every now and again, there's some pockets where the podcast curse isn't present, and I'll engage in something like this and go back to it. But Minecraft is just that game where I can go and build some stuff. Even if I've built in that biome with that material before, it still feels inventive and new and fun. Minecraft is really fun. I enjoy my time there quite a bit.
I think that's totally fair. I feel like maybe I should flip my best short game and lazy weekend game, because they probably feel more appropriate to be in the other categories. But the reason I picked this one is that this is a game, as much as I like Into the Breach, and I do play a lot of Into the Breach, it's not, just that game that's always on hand for me that I'm like, oh, I'll happily just go back to that for, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 3 hours, whatever. But the game that is that for me is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I've talked about on the show before when it comes to best music. It's dr.
No, I got it. There's just two. Okay. I'm trying to see. I think the other one's like the one with Tetris. That's not the one you're talking about, right?
No, not Puyo Puyo Tetris. This is, yeah.
There we go.
The Genesis game. Anyway, it's just, it feels good. I know the rules. It's just Puyo Puyo, but I love the wrapper around it. It has the Sonic, morning cartoon show, Robotnik and Scratch and Grounder and Coconuts, and the music is so much better than it has any fucking right to be. It's just a game where I can go in with any amount of time, and it was one of the first games I went back to once I got the Thor up and running, because it is kind of that perfect little game that, hey, I've got 5 minutes, I've got 10 minutes, I've got enough time that I don't just want to load up Drop 7 on my phone. I want to take a little bit more effort to play something, but I also don't know that I'm going to have a full hour to contribute to playing a video game. So what can I play? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's right there. It's easy. It's great. The Genesis version is the better one. It also came out on the Game Gear, and that one is basically just the same game but with worse graphics on it and worse sound for sure. But God, it's so cool. And I got to tell you, when I played Sonic Mania for the first time, and you get that one little bit in, I can't remember, it's in Chemical Plant Zone, where they have you play just a single round of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I squealed. I was so fucking excited that somebody remembered, somebody cared. It was so great. And then Sega was like, well, we don't need anybody making any of those games anymore. Fuck that. What if we just give you more bad Sonic games? So sad. But yeah, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, perfect game for a lazy weekend, however much of that weekend you want to take up with it.
Hell yeah, that's a fun one. Next category is called Not Usually My Thing, but I read this as hey, what's a genre that you typically avoid, and maybe a game of that genre that you did enjoy.
Absolutely. And this is the only category I believe that I took from the original set of categories in the meme, because I liked this one. It's that's a good one. Yeah,
that's why I picked Celeste. I typically don't like these twitchy, hard like 2010s era and a little into 2015 era indie platformers where you got your Super Meat Boys and things of that nature. I just don't like the stress and twitchiness of it. They're a lot. It reminds me of old friend of the show, Zach Fleeman, and some of the stuff that he would do to himself with Mario. I just
R.I.P.
R.I.P. What?
He's not dead. I just haven't talked to Zach Fleeman for a while.
Yeah. But for me, I really enjoyed Celeste, and I had a lot of heart, and I think it's one of the best one of those out there by people who enjoy the genre even. So probably easy for me to fall in love with this one, but it's so good. Celeste is so good.
Well, and they made it so easy for somebody who doesn't normally like this genre to play. You don't need to out yourself on what accessibility features you put on, but that game has so many
you can
different
tweak it.
sliders and customizations of, just if you want to do straight up God mode, you can. If you want to give Celeste as many, is her name Celeste? Is the character Celeste?
Yeah, it's Celeste.
Okay. You can give Celeste as many boosts as you want. So you can just kind of trivialize the whole video game if you want to. I think that was really smart to allow people to play the game the way they want, so they can see the story and they can appreciate what's in the game. And if you then decide, hey, I really like this, now I want to go back and play it quote unquote for real, you can, or you can turn on some of those things. It's actually one of the things I really liked about Forza Motorsport, where you played that game and it had a lot of assists that you could turn on. And then as you got better in playing it, you go, oh, well, I do actually get a little bit more money if I turn off this mode. Maybe I can try a race without, the automatic brake system. So what if I try that? And then you're like, oh, that actually wasn't so bad. Maybe I'll try playing more like this. And okay. And then you just actually get better at the game. And it's not some kind of Dark Souls, oh, if you try to play it easier, you're not getting it, man. You're not getting the experience. It's supposed to be hard. Like, I've always hated that bullshit. So to have a game like Celeste go, we're going to make a difficult game, and if you want to engage with the difficulty, you can, but we also want to make a video game that people will like.
Sure.
And we tried to put in as many things as possible on making that a game that you like. Did you end up like messing around with any of those settings?
No, I played it on like the stock setting for all that.
I played it hardcore, man. That's
not me. No, I'm
not some little bitch out there.
No, man, I'm a story mode aficionado, my friend. I at this point, like, I don't need the difficulty to be the friction. The game should have a better design to be the friction, not the. Don't throw more at me to make the game challenging. Make the game itself challenging is what I would want.
I tend to agree. Like any of those games where it feels like, oh, we just, especially when you make difficulty modes that don't change the way the game plays, but rather just changes the numbers. We gave the enemies 600% more health and they do 300% more damage. Get fucked. And it's like, that's not interesting. That doesn't make for good gameplay. But if you know, that's why I always really enjoyed Halo single player as well. That it really felt like the game played differently and the AI routines were different when you were going up against the Covenant or the Flood or whatever. And that felt more interesting to play at those higher difficulty levels. So cool. I like that.
Hell yeah.
My pick for not usually my thing, but is Sim City for the Super Nintendo. I love this game. You know, not just because of the music, but mostly because of the music. But I'm not a city builder guy. That's Bobby's territory. He can have all that shit. Bobby, this is the one that has like a tan and red thing. It's got SimCity at the top of it. I know it's hard because they're all named SimCity.
Yeah. You said tan and red thing at the top?
Yeah, it looks like a Tamagotchi, like a tan Tamagotchi with a bunch of red buttons on it. Or like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. You can put whatever SimCity you want up there. It's not a big deal. But SimCity for the Super Nintendo, I like the graphics. I just like the way it felt. It was top down, whereas a lot of those SimCities after that would be that isometric view. I wasn't as big a fan of that. I'm just normally not a city builder guy. I don't like tweaking all of those little. When I like tweaking stuff, it's usually to be able to see it on a character or to see it on a car and to have like these really functional kind of tweaks that you make. And it always frustrated me to play SimCity and go, okay, well, I guess I'll up the tax rate by 1%. And then you really wouldn't see any difference until like 2 years later. And then you go, oh, I guess I'm making more money, but also some people did I do anything? I don't know what I did here that actually changed anything. And I know some city builders have gotten better about showing you tangible results for your decisions. It's just never been my bag. You know, the closest another game has gotten me is probably the SteamWorld one. What was the SteamWorld city builder?
SteamWorld Build.
Desert. SteamWorld Build, yeah.
It's really good. I should go back and finish that one.
It did seem like a cool game, and I like the SteamWorld games generally, but it's not a genre that I like. And, you know, outside of SimCity,
it's not my favorite of these either. Like, yeah. I don't like the colony builders like I like the factory builders, and et cetera. So I'm with you. Like, they're cool. I appreciate them. I know people are really into these things, but just not for me.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I'll play them, but like you get what I'm saying.
You're sick enough that you'll try them.
Yeah, but, I'm sick enough to try, not sick enough to die.
It's not your flavor of sickness.
No.
Sure.
But what is, and what should be yours in this category, which is more people should play, Chase, more people should play Hard Space Shipbreaker. 1,000%.
I agree.
Like,
with that.
I think that is a gem out there. I think it's largely underrated by a lot of people. I don't think it's talked about enough. Us sickos that like it really like it a whole lot. And you and I have spent a lot of time in space. We should go back to this game sometime this year on a Monday night, and you can watch. You like watching me die on stream. There's not much more that does it than Hard Space Shipbreaker.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Is this game finally? This game's on consoles now, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. This is saying PlayStation 5.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll go back and actually play Hardspace Shipbreaker if it's now on.
That'd be cool if it was.
Versions for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S were released in September of 2022. So, yeah, I think I could give this game a shot. I have this on PC. We've talked about it. I don't like playing games on PC. I don't really like mouse and keyboard controls generally. But I did play some of this on my PC, and I had a good time with it. I played, I don't know, a couple hours.
Yeah.
But I've certainly watched you play, like you mentioned, and it's a cool video game.
It's a very cool video game.
I think there's some stuff that people can glean from that. You know, not just hey, it's got fun mechanics to it, but I really like not necessarily the story that it's telling, but rather the way it's telling that story. The way it's you're just kind of this gig worker, and the way they're kind of fucking you over as a big corporate entity. But I like the delivery system of that, only getting it through these emails and messages, and not really it's very informal in the same way a big corporation would be with its workers. So I think it has some interesting things to say, as well as being a pretty cool playing game as well. Good pick.
Hell yeah. What do you got for us?
My last pick might be a little targeted at you, but I also think that everybody should play
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Close. You're off by a word. Not Heroes. That's the phone game.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Off by a word?
A word, yeah.
Awakening?
Close. No. Fire Emblem Echoes, and then Shadows of Valentia if you want to add on even more words. Yeah, Fire Emblem Echoes is my favorite Fire Emblem game. It didn't used to be, but it's a game that I have gone back to a number of times and continue to find more and more things to love about it. And yes, hey, I'm the Fire Emblem game guy. I like Fire Emblem games.
Chase, I did the logo design of my Fire Emblem collection for you specifically, and you didn't even say a word about it when I showed you at your house. Because you saw what I did for the Zelda and the Mario ones. It's this logo, but instead of Echoes, it's the same font treatment, the same angle, and it just says Fire Emblem Collection. And
I don't even think I clocked that.
Sorry, man, I did that exactly for you, just because I knew. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, I can at least feel good knowing that I bought this video game for you, hand delivered it to your house, and then you not only didn't play it, you sold me your 3DS so you can never play it.
I played it.
You can play it now, but
I did play. I didn't beat it, but I played it.
Yeah. Okay. Fire Emblem Echoes, I just think, is the best one for a lot of reasons. It feels way different than Awakening, and a lot of where Fire Emblem has gone, where it's been so skill based and just collecting skills and putting all the best skills on a character and letting them go. All the freedom of, what if I should just put them in every class, partially to get the skills, but the characters don't really feel like they have as much personality now because they can go in basically every class. So it doesn't really feel like, hey, this is the big tanky guy, except that he was the big tanky guy when you got him. So then when you talk to him in all the support conversations, he's talking about a big tanky guy and like, motherfucker, I put you on a horse. Like you can't be the big tanky guy anymore. That's not how it works. But Fire Emblem Echoes, partially because it's a remake of Fire Emblem 2, Fire Emblem Gaiden rather, and also that it's bringing in some of those kind of newer ideas, but also putting them with this older shell of a game. It just found this perfect balance to me of there's a little freedom. There's a couple of characters that you can build however you want. And then there's a bunch of characters who this is their deal. This is what they are. And you got to deal with that. And I have found that to be the perfect sweet spot. The support conversations are really good. The voice acting is really incredible in this game. And I got so close to putting this on art style because this is one of my favorite looking video games. It is a travesty that Nintendo and Intelligent Systems has not brought this same art style to any of the other newer Fire Emblems at this point, because it is fucking gorgeous. And then you look at Engage and you go, oh God.
Ugh, Engage was bad.
Like that video game did not have to look like that. It could have looked like this. So it is just my favorite one of these. It plays great. And I wish anybody would play it. If you want to play a strategy game, I think this is a really good one to pick and try out. If you like strategy games, if you like Fire Emblem in general, not a lot of people played this one, so I do think you should go back and play one of the better Fire Emblems ever made. And if you're Intelligent Systems, I think you should play this one and make more fucking video games that are like this. Stop making the new shitty ones.
Well, hopefully the new one is better. Maybe we'll see in a few weeks, I think.
I really hope that Fortune's Weave is good, but
yeah,
I have my doubts that it'll be better than Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia, which
that's fair.
I think more people should play.
Also fair. Chase, this was a lot of fun. You did a great job with this.
Thank you.
I will just.
We can do this again sometime. Maybe I'll come up with other more obscure categories.
Yeah, I think we should
do this again. But
like you can even just we could pick 3 things or make it smaller, little micro doses throughout the deep dive stuff. Like that'd be cool.
Sure.
I'll make sure that when I post the episode, it'll have screenshots of these things with it if you want that included, and then we'll certainly have the show notes if you want to this is not going to help anybody. I won't even go into it. There's show notes if you want to go and find out what chapters we talk about what, but you're watching this potentially, or just listen to it, and you can find out more about what we're doing if you go to our website, the Casual Hour, or you can find out some cool stuff this week. Chase went down deep with me in Subnautica 2, and I even ran out of air for him because he loves to see me suffer. But
the deepest dive of all.
The deepest dive of all was Subnautica 2. I had fun. It was cool. I'm enjoying that game quite a bit. It was nice to have you just kind of voice over some of the weird shit that was happening with it. And then, of course, tonight was our deep dive. Chase, you have been incredibly busy outside of the show. You sent me a very audacious photograph, I will say.
Yes. Timeline of a hit film express video that I was making had a lot of cuts in it for sure.
A lot of cuts. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, what have you been up to, man?
A few things. So I've got Pilot Program, which is a podcast I do with good friend of the show, Pierce Corshane. We talk about the first episodes of every television show ever made. Our episode on Food Network's Good Eats came out last week, I believe. And we'll be recording next week our episode on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, just in time for that shitty movie to come out. So look forward to that. I watched the first episode a couple days ago, and oh boy, we're going to have something to talk about for Pilot Program. I wonder how Pierce will feel about it.
I'm sure he'll
know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Then I've also got my YouTube channel, Chasey K Plays, where I'm currently playing through Pokemon TCG Generations, which is a ROM hack of the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color. It's a series called I'm Still Just a Bill with fantastic thumbnail art done by one Bobby Pease. So you got to check at least that out. But also, I'm having a lot of fun with the video game itself. It's one of my favorite games, and to be able to see it remixed in this way and try out new strategies with new cards has been super fun. I've got 3 medals now, and a new episode just came out today as you're watching this. So go check that out. And then finally, I guess I'll mention it because I did make that stupid timeline of all the video editing I had to do. I've got another YouTube channel, which is Common Knowledge MTG, where I talk about Magic the Gathering, specifically for the Pauper format, where you can only use common cards. And in addition to putting out 5 videos a week of me talking about 10 random common Magic the Gathering cards, which is a lot of fun. Well, it's fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for anybody watching it, but some people do, apparently. And in addition to that, I made a new, more produced video about one of my favorite sets in Magic the Gathering, which was Portal 3 Kingdoms. And I get to talk about Romance of the 3 Kingdoms and all that bullshit, but talk about it with Magic cards. So I talked about 9 cards that are semi-viable for the Pauper format, even though that is a set that is very maligned because it's not very powerful at all, and there's not a whole lot for any Magic sets, much less Magic formats, much less the Pauper format. But there are a couple that actually get played in the format, and there are a couple more that I thought were interesting enough to talk about. So that also went up today. A lot of content for me. You have all of that, you vultures, before Memorial Day, so I get to take a bit of a break.
Right on. Well, thanks again for pulling this together. This was a ton of fun, and thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it greatly. We'll be back Probably not on Monday with the holiday. I don't know. We haven't talked about that yet, but
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Maybe Monday.